I'll stick it out. Oh. Here's some things that I'm really afraid of. I'm afraid of rejection. I'm afraid that people are gonna get to know me, get close to me, and then be like, yeah, you're not my cup of tea. Later, man. We don't like you. I'm afraid of going through my life and dying and then meeting Jesus and him telling me that he never knew me. Somehow I missed the right path. Somehow I missed it. I'm afraid that I'm gonna get fat again. I'm afraid that all the hard work will be for nothing because I've yo-yo dieted many times. This is the first time I've ever had sustained weight loss. It fluctuate a little bit, but nothing major. There's a lot of things to be afraid of. And when you're afraid of things, it changes your decision making. I call those fear-based decisions. And they're hard to see sometimes. After going through that whole shutdown, that was that was putting a lot of people's fear-based decisions on the forefront. Or you could just call it like just making the best decision with the information that you had at that moment. Another thing I'm afraid of is creating a bend in my kids when it comes to food. After going on the carnivore diet and changing how we eat around our house, I could see this bend in my kids that they're like kind of hating some of the things that we provide for them now because they're not what they were used to before, or maybe we just communicate it like it's less than somehow. It seems like my kids are gravitating towards wanting junk more. Hey, I just want the noodles. It's like, no, that's not what we're doing here. That's not how we're living. But then that's what they want. And I don't know if I'm just sensitive about it because I've been paying attention to food more. Yeah, I don't want my kids to grow up and hate Jesus because I was a bad representative. I don't want my kids to grow up and not want to eat in a way that serves them and their body and keeps them able to serve people around them. I don't want them to grow up and just get stuck in a trap. I fear those things, and rightly so, because it's very prevalent these days, especially here in the United States of America. I heard a stat the other day that it said that 60% of all kids were unhealthy, and they're talking about how the entire medical system is making money on sick kids. Talking about a lot of the junk food brands, the cereals, the pop, sodas, or whatever you want, like how much money they make, just how much money they give to the government essentially to dictate what the recommendations for the people are. That's crazy. I'm afraid of the carnivore diet still because I don't know where it's going to lead me when it comes to my understanding of the world. That seems a little crazy, but when I started carnivore, it started changing how I view the entire world. My view of the world has changed, and I'm kind of afraid of where this is going to lead me. And as a Christian man, I always look at things that I'm advocating for as like, I'm supposed to look like Jesus, and is the way that I'm living looking like Jesus? If not, then I'm doing it wrong. And so when it comes to like my diet, I try to live my life with my diet. How would Jesus do this? I mean, Jesus ate some bread, right? Okay, well, how do you deal with that, Aaron? Yeah, good question. Jesus drank some wine. Some people will be like, no, he didn't. It was grape juice. Dude, grape juice wasn't even invented until about the same time diabetes. It is kind of scary how little I knew about nutrition and what was healthy and what was good for me, what moderation was, what balance was, macros, macronutrients, micronutrients. I didn't know any of them. And when I went on the carnivore diet, I started learning those things. That's why I'm always going to advocate for someone to go on a carnivore diet. Get all the junk out of your life, and it's quite stark how bad you're actually doing when you feel like you're doing a good job. It's quite stark, very stark. None of us have this all figured out. None of us. I have this like inner Dr. Anthony Chaffee in my mind. His whole plants are trying to kill you speech. And yeah, I mean, seems accurate. Plants are trying to kill you. The carnivore diet made me afraid. Same kind of concept, right? But when I think about Dr. Anthony Chaffee, I know that he doesn't have kids. And I have this suspicion, that if he does have kids one day, he's going to have to start wrestling with how he feeds his kids. The kid's going to have a mother. The mom's going to have an opinion on the nutrition for that kid also. Oh, maybe it's twins. one could eat plants and one no plants. We'll see what happens. No, but what's going to happen, he's going to be put in a position where he has a responsibility for a child and for raising them and feeding them well. And that's scary. And I guarantee you 100% that he will feed his kid plants some way, somehow. His kid will consume plants. So now I'm advocating for everyone to eat plants. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it's more complicated than we want it to be. It can be a little bit scary knowing what to do. Really, the trick is to go day by day and take what you learned and try to apply it to your life and fall down less, get up faster. Same principles I use in my faith, and grow. Try to get people around you that are not that impressed with you. They'll tell you the hard stuff. Try to stay out of echo chambers all the time. I know that the words moderation and balance are like taboo words in the carnivore community, but I think a lot of times people are trying to get people away from using those words because there's a lot of people that don't know how to moderate and they don't know how to balance anything. Completely controlled by dopamine and getting that next hit of carbohydrates that light your brain up just like cocaine. Chris Farley's a perfect example. Loved carbs, loved cocaine, and it killed him. But the reality is there has to be decisions that are being made. And are they fear-based decisions? They never work out. I have this philosophy when it comes to food that might be better than balance or moderation. If you're not thankful for it, don't eat it. You're not gonna get 600 pounds eating food that you're thankful for. It's not gonna happen. But being thankful for stuff. So my camera died, and I've been busy. So it's like 2 days after recording that video, and I watched it back. I'm like, dude, you're at it again. Your brain goes like this all over the place. And let me conclude it with this. We need to make a shift from decisions based on fear to decisions that are based and rooted in thankfulness and awareness when it comes to our food, our lifestyle. And I think by aligning choices with values and gratitude, that's how we essentially avoid fear-based living, like a more balanced and fulfilling path. And that word balance again. But I'm telling you, we need to be careful. We need to be careful about our decision making. And for example, like when it comes to my YouTube channel, if you've made it this far on this video, I'm afraid that my videos aren't good enough. But I don't have time all the time to make the best videos. So I try to put out a video and it be, okay, is it the best I could do? Probably not. Is it the best I could do with my time? Maybe. But then I worry and have some fear-based decisions, like if I don't come out with anything, then everyone will forget about me. Which, as an introvert, when people leave me alone, it's not that bad. But as someone that has a conviction that they feel like they could bring value to people's lives because they're on a journey, and can encourage people that have been on the journey for a long time also, or people that are starting, or having some wrestling, some issues, or have questions, I feel a responsibility to be there because I've gone through things that have changed my life and they have value. All right. Goodbye. Oh yeah, it's my birthday. Goodbye.